Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Christian Girl Tag. And I know that I'm not either of those things, but I'm not a bigot and I'm not sexist, and I'm okay with cultural appropriation today. So, here we go. I was introduced to this tag by a video on Shannon Henderson's channel, link below, and I was watching her video because she was flagged because of a copyright claim because of music. And so I watched the rest of her video and I thought, you know what? These questions are universal enough for everyone, even an atheist and a man. And so here I go. Number one, how long have you been saved and how did you become saved? Even though I don't believe that saved is a word that would apply to me in the religious sense, because I now identify as an atheist. If you're one of those people who believes that once you're saved, you're always saved, and there's no way to lose your salvation, then I would have to say I've been saved since I was 6 years old, and the method that I became saved was peer pressure from the other students in the Sunday school and the instructor of the Sunday school and my family. Number two, what is your favorite Bible verse and what does it mean to you? 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Examine all things, hold fast to that which is good. To me, that is a little nugget of skepticism within the pages of the Bible that kind of contradicts all the places where it says don't question your faith. Number three, what is your favorite Christian song and why? Well, as a kid, I was accosted by my friends with different Christian music that all seemed to suck. They tried to convert me by handing me Testament and DC Talk and Carmen and Petra. And I did not like any of that. It left a really bad taste in my mouth. In fact, don't go looking for Petra at all. It will transport you to a place where purple tiger striped spandex is okay. So no, don't go looking. But there was a song that I heard probably in my 20s that took a Petra song and redid it. It was a cover, and they even changed some of the lyrics. And it was a song by Plank Eye, and it's called "All the King's Horses," and it is so much better than the original, and it has a lot of passion in the grungy guitar work. I'll link that in the description too, so you guys can listen to it. Number four, what is your favorite Christian book? Well, in the past 10 years, all the Christian books that I have picked up, they were pretty much for the purpose of offending me because I wanted to disagree with them. But I did pick up the Apocrypha from Oxford University Press, which doesn't offend me as much because it's hundreds and hundreds of years old works that the bigotry in them isn't as profound. And also, if Christian fiction counts, then I would have to say The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because Aslan is an allegory for Jesus, and he's better at being a good guy than Jesus is. Um, Number five, what is your favorite thing about church? I'd have to say fellowship. Um, that's why I have no problem as an atheist giving the advice to people that if they're religious, they should go to church, and that's a good place to avoid your vices and meet people, and it's a good entry level stepping stone into a community where you can find other things to do with your time past just going to that church. And most of the people at a church are looking to better themselves. That's why they're there. Some of them go about it in kind of the wrong way, but at least they're looking to better themselves, and they're not going to be very welcoming to vices coming into their church. Number 6. If you could meet Jesus right now, what would your first action or question be? It would be a question, and it would be not in a vain way, but I would be asking Jesus, are you me? And what I would mean by that, hopefully he would understand, because, omniscience. But I would be asking that part of Jesus, which is God incarnate, as a person on earth, am I here to experience things and then have my experience rolled up into a giant consciousness, kind of like a Unitarian Universalist thought where everyone's life is important because God's going to absorb all the knowledge from everyone? And I would be asking, is there a bit of God in me? Is God so omnipresent that he's actually in every little atom that makes up my brain? Okay, number 7. What is the oddest place that you have ever prayed? I would have to say that if you don't have a belief in God or a belief in the efficacy of prayer, then you didn't really pray when you were going through the motions. So I didn't really pray in a lot of odd places while I was 5, 6, and 7 years old. But I have gone through the motions just to be respectful for other people. And I've done a moment of silence in the middle of being in a military regiment where pretty much we're trained killers, but we're all having a moment of silence because we think that God's okay with what we're doing. And also, I'd say that it's odd for me when I go to a 12-step group because I'm supporting someone by taking them to support groups that are fit for them. And I don't believe in a lot of the things that the 12-step group puts forward. I don't think that without a monotheistic idea of God, be it deist or Christian or Jewish or Muslim, you can't make those steps and traditions work. It's like they don't make sense. There's some people who say that your higher power could be a doorknob, but not if you actually want to follow those steps in context of what they actually mean. You actually have to believe in a God, and and also a God that can affect things in reality. A God that actually intervenes in our lives. So for me to go to those places, and mostly to take people to a place where they can get some support, for me to go there and then have them say things like they are the only way that people can be sober, and that is basically they'll say that if you stop going to meetings, then you are a dry drunk and you still have a problem, and it's kind of cultish. But for some people, that is a good entry into support groups. And sometimes after going to an open group for a while, in whatever 12-step group it is, they might start going to a closed group where it's just friends, and they get fellowship. Again, fellowship. It's important. But for me, it's odd when I'm an atheist, and at the end of that group, everyone in the room has to hold hands and say either the Serenity Prayer or the Lord's Prayer, depending on which group you go to. And I'm there, kind of bowing my head, but I'm looking all around the room to see if there's any other atheists, because that's what we do. When everyone joins hands and bows heads to pray, the atheists are looking for each other. But to me, that it's odd because I don't ascribe to their ideas. Especially, I don't think that Alcoholics Anonymous or any other 12-step group counts as therapy. It's just a support group. And to call it therapy, as they do in their meetings sometimes, I think is blasphemy to the things that I believe. So, yeah, it's odd that I have showed up there probably 10 times this past year, just supporting other people in their decision to get sober, and there are things that I disagree with that are being prayed over. Number 8. Are you ready if Jesus were to come tomorrow? Well, if a bearded robed man in sandals that was Jewish showed up on my doorstep and wanted to come in and break bread with me, I think that I have enough kosher food in my pantry to put on a good show as a host. I think that I could feed Jesus, but also, if the question was like in a non-personal way, if I just saw some news stories about, oh, Jesus has returned and now he's going to the White House and he's talking to the president about how to fix the world, I'm kind of prepared mentally for something like that. I would be skeptical of, everything that was going on, but the connotation to this, as far as Jesus' return, that I understand is that Jesus returns at the end of the world. And so, because there are things that I want to get done before I die, and because I interpret this question to mean, are you ready to die tomorrow? No. No. I am not ready to die. I'm not ready for the world to end. I have stuff that I want to get done because I have goals. Those goals are important to me. And number 9. How do you openly share your faith? Faith is actually a word that I avoid using. Most times I understand that faith to people means confidence in something, and so I will swap out the word confidence whenever possible, because I like people to understand what I mean and not confuse the word faith for the other connotations. But in this question, it seems to mean walk of life, principles that guide your life. So as far as my atheism and skepticism and how I share those, not overtly at all in my normal life. In fact, 95% of the people that I meet are while I'm at work on a professional level, and so it's not right for me to proselytize to them because of the ethics of my job. So I don't share with them my faith per se, or lack thereof. I might give them some advice that a person of faith might not have offered because I see things from a different perspective, but I don't openly share that I am an atheist. Many times, not even when somebody has mistaken me for being a good Christian man, because self-disclosure in my line of work is not very appropriate unless it's going to help the client. That's like the rule of thumb as to whether or not you tell a client anything about yourself really is, are you telling them because it helps you, or telling them because it might help them? And if it'll help them to understand that I'm an atheist, then I'm all about telling them, yeah, you're not alone if you're an atheist, and I'm there too. But if they're under the assumption that I'm a good Christian person, and it would smash all of their ideas about me being able to affect change in their life for the better, to tell them that I was an atheist because they might think that I sucked the blood of goats and I sacrifice cats to the Kaibo god, then no, I'm not going to be open about that, because some people have very different ideas about what it means to not have a religion in your life. And it's just not appropriate for any self-disclosure that doesn't help a client. So I don't most of the time. I do share my perspectives here on YouTube to thousands of subscribers, and each video gets at least hundreds of views. And that's pretty much my outlet for sharing that. It's very rare that in my real life it comes up or I'm willing to talk about it, because of those things that I just mentioned. So, I guess that's the end of the question, so I have to tag some people. And I'm going to keep with the theme of tagging people who are either not a Christian or not a girl, to get some different perspectives on these questions, because there's Christian girls keeping these questions all to themselves, and I'm going to free the questions. So, I'm going to go with Michea B, and I'm going to go with Kizzume, and Liz Reptile's channel manager, her daughter. That's somebody that I'd like to see make a video, and also InventorGorilla on the Disposable Gorilla channel. Let's see how he handles these questions. Laters.